aspirational force in the world. That's quite bold, isn't it? And the base on my directives was to have a holistic approach, discussing social matters, health, and democracy. And I think that's something that happened in my mind, at least, during the time I have worked with architecture, that I can see that architecture could embed so many other questions. And Helena has already read the national goals, but I think they are important, and they are a strong force for all of us. And the main thing that I like to show in a picture is that it's a shift of how we are looking at architecture. Next. And that is what architecture makes. It's not about what it is what it makes with our daily lives. That's the most important thing. And that we can work with our architecture as a tool, and that it also are related to the challenges. So that's important for me. Next. In Malmö, we made a policy for the city as a whole. And the policy is nothing that you start to work with in the end. It's something that you have to have with you from the beginning as a tool, as something to work with, together with the real estate companies, together with the inhabitants, because you have to answer important questions about the local aspects, about the sustainability, and so on. It's 9 questions. And if I had checked half of them, it would be a good project. Next time. Another thing that I consider as an important tool, that is the Sustainable Development Goals, the 17. You know them all. We have seen them already today. And it's not only goal 11 about societies. It's many other goals as well. But what I do really like is no one should leave a city for all, a city that leaves no one behind. I like that very much, and I think that's important. Next up. So for me, planning, it is about values. What values should have a spatial form? How do we interpret the values or the into a spatial structure? Because as I said before, everything has to have a space. A children, a car, or whatever. So that's important. Next. And planning is a battle of space. The cars normally wins, but I think in the future the children will win as well. We made a report in Malmö about social sustainability, and we referring to Michael Marmot, who made a report on the global level, closing the gap. And he said, if you only should do one thing, give the children a good start in their life. And we must agree with that, don't we? So that's what planning is about. For me, also, the public spaces are important. And we have heard about that earlier this day. We heard about the memories. We also heard about the Maidan in Kiev, and how important it is to have the public spaces that really are public, and you are allowed to demonstrate and show what you will as inhabitants in the city. So this is important, and it's also important that it belongs to the inhabitants. It's publicly owned, and it should be kept public as well. As I said, I think the planning process could do more than just creating planning. So it could embed other processes. I mean, spatial processes, they are quite clear. It will end up with a building or a district or whatever. But at the same time, it's possible to include or embed other processes concerning trust, concerning dialogue, and in the end, concerning democracy. And I have worked very much with this when I have worked with Malmö as a city as a whole. And that's why I think we said it earlier today. Trust and democracy is important words, and I really think so. So when we should build trust, or when we should empower people, we have to work close to the people. So that's why we have to have the planning instruments. We have to own the municipality. And in Sweden, we have the problem that we have to use the existing building stock better than we really do. In Ukraine, you will have the absolutely vice versa situation. But when we are doing that, people are still living on the site. And of course, in Ukraine, you have people that has been living there for a long time. And the knowledge that they have, you have to use it when you are reshaping, rebuilding, or using the existing housing stock better. It's in a way the same thing to work on. Next time. So I have worked a lot in competitions. So when we need new ideas or generate new ideas, competition is a very good tool to work with. It mustn't be very complex. It could be quite easy to have a competition. This is Kiruna. I work with Kiruna. You know, it's a city up in the north. The city is lying on an iron ore, and that's why you have to move the city as a whole to a new site. But it's not steel and concrete. It's the social relations that has to be built, and then you have to build something around that. So that's important for me to think that planning is about social relations. Next. And as an academia now, I would say also that the academy has to be on board because they know things. They have the long-term perspective all the time. And that's important when you should reshape not something, or when you should have new knowledge and to understand, for example, new context. The academians, they are very good at that. So as the chairman now for Formas, we are working on mission-oriented research, and I think that's really important. Next. If we are doing this well, we can improve trust and we can improve the civil society. And I normally say that culture is the glue between people. So if we could do this very well, we will also strengthen the culture and strengthen the democracy. Next. And what I have done so far is that planning is not only about planning. It is the art of creating a society. That is what it is about. Thank you very much.